guys, happy Thursday. I have a little God Talk snippet for you today because on Monday I mentioned a great story that I have concerning God correcting my vision and my perception. Before I get into that, I just want to mention these super cute earrings that I'm wearing. I'm going to show them a little closer, only because this is part of a fundraiser that my friend is doing. Her and her husband do orphan hosting. And this summer they're having another orphan come from Ukraine to stay for the majority of the summer. It's for Mike and Lisa Dresch. And so this is called Earrings for Orphans. And I think they're around, most of them are about $15 a piece. And these are like a leather tassel. So cute. So find that on Facebook under Lisa Dresch and Earrings for Orphans. If you're interested, you cannot lose because they are so cute and they go to a great cause. So anyway. On to my message for today. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. I had one summer, it was within a 4-month period, where my windshield of my car, not my husband's car, but only my vehicle, got broken out 3 times. 3 times in 4 months. And it was very frustrating, to say the least. We couldn't turn all those into insurance. It got really expensive. Finally, after the 3rd time, I parked in my garage. The 3rd time was actually at a baseball game. And I parked in my garage and I was by myself, and I just felt like the Lord was nudging me and wanted me to listen to what he had to say. So I said, okay, Lord, what is going on? I started feeling like this wasn't a normal thing that was happening to me. This was something supernatural, and he was trying to speak to me. And I heard these words very clearly. And he said, your vision is skewed. And I sat there and I went, oh my gosh. So I haven't been listening to him in a certain area, and he had to get my attention this way. And if you don't think that he'll do something like this once in a while in the natural to wake you up when you're going the wrong way, you're wrong. Because this didn't harm anyone, but it's a way that he got in my face. And I said, okay, Lord, what about? And he said, Darren. And I knew right away. He started speaking to me about how I had been I'd been misjudging him. I had been looking at him through critical eyes. And what happened was, several years ago, when I had my experience with the Lord, where I got baptized in the Spirit, I began to chase God passionately and on a completely different level than before. And when that began, I started to become frustrated with Darren, that I perceived that he wasn't in the same place as me spiritually, and that he wasn't as hungry for God as I was, and that he wasn't spending the time with God or chasing after God the way that I was. And the Lord started to deal with me about that, because I started to look at him and just think, why isn't he doing more? Why isn't he doing more at church? Why isn't he reading his Bible more? Why isn't he worshiping? I had all these things where it's like I would sit back and kind of just look at him and become frustrated on the inside. And I would see other couples that I felt like were growing in the Lord together and ministering together, and I would get jealous. And it caused me to start to kind of close off from him. I started to not talk to him as much about the things of God, but about anything, because I was worried that he wouldn't understand. And I told all of him, I told him all of this the other day, and I said, I'm going to share this story. And he said, okay. And anyway, after that, I started realizing that God had spoken to me that God sees him in a different way. God sees him through non-critical eyes. And he wanted me to start looking at Darren and see Darren the way that God sees him. And shortly after that, I had been asleep, and I woke up in the morning, and clear as day, I heard the Lord speak to me, a scripture from Psalms, and he said, the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. And after that, I just had peace wash over me, and I knew that God had Darren on his path, and that I could trust God with Darren's path, with his destiny, and that, there's the timing of God. We're not always going to be in the same place at the same time, and that's okay. And after that, our relationship started to improve and we started to communicate a lot better, and things have just gotten better and better since then because I took the log out of my own eye and started to see him the way that God sees him. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today, and just hope you have a great week. Look at your loved ones through non-critical eyes. Try to see them the way God sees them today. Thanks so much, guys. God bless.